The hidden scars of war are not easily erased. Over the years and following the last two wars, Gaza's deteriorating mental health epidemic is sounding an alarm throughout the Strip. Adults are working vigorously to contain their young generation from growing up with learning and behavioral disabilities. Unexpected visits by worried parents are now commonplace.
طبعا احنا كمرشدين في داخل المدرسة نعتبر زي تشخيص للحالة من الظواهر اللي بتظهر على الطفل، السلوكيات اللي بتتغير عند الطفل، لكن الأشياء النفسية المعقدة الصعبة نحتاج إلى أخصائي علاج كلينيكي، وهذا رح نتعامل معه إن شاء الله. عندنا برنامج ينفذ في داخل المدرسة مع برنامج غزة للصحة النفسية، في أخصائية نفسية بتتابع معنا، وحتحول إلى المؤسسة هذه في فريق كامل، فريق علاج أطفال، علاج كلينيكي، علاج سلوكي، كل هذا فريق يتعامل معنا داخل المدرسة إن شاء الله.
Established in 1990 following the Second Intifada, the Gaza Community Health Program has been pivotal in fighting trauma and post-traumatic stress disorder.
We have a team here in Gaza Community Mental Health. There is a lot of psychological institutions, psychosocial projects in Gaza who's dealing with people who suffer from the PTSD. They're making the first aid, and we are focusing here in Gaza Community in the treating people who suffer from the post-traumatic stress disorder. We are making now like a scanning for the people who is suffering, who is having symptoms, and making awareness for them that there is a lot of there is a trauma, and the trauma, this is the consequences of it. How can we overcome?
With 6 community centers set up throughout the Gaza Strip, it provides extensive services, from home visits, parental advisory groups, to therapists in schools and rehabilitation programs. But despite its facilities and influence amongst the population, doctors say their resources are overstretched.
The resource, it's limited because we are not a lot of numbers of psychologists and psychiatrists, but we're giving a lot of helping for the people, for the institution, even for the worker who is helping the people. They are now calling for us to give them help, to talk to them, because the war is on all of us, and also we are at the team of Gaza Community. We are talking to each other 2 days before we start to work to make a debriefing for each other. And we are now, with the program will arrange to have for us a psychologist from outside to give us support in order to give the people support.
3/4 of Gaza's population have experienced generational trauma as refugees after being driven out from their lands since 1948. An estimated 1.1 million Palestinians are registered with the UN's Relief and Works Agency as refugees. A number of UNRWA schools were partially destroyed during the war, sending thousands of other students to cramp into already packed UNRWA schools.
There was a great need for psychosocial and mental health support in our schools before the war. Now, after the war, this has been, multiplied, and the need is becoming much more urgent. One of the factors that induce healing from the trauma is that you tell the person now everything is back to normal, and this has happened in the past, but we are not able to do that in Gaza because nothing is normal. We still have siege, we still have high rates of unemployment, we still have many problems that we have to deal. Now we have very small number of counselors. We have 190 counselors in our schools, while we have more than 245,000 students in our schools. So you can imagine, sometimes you have to spend days with one client, speaking with the child, speaking with the teacher, with his family, visiting the family, inviting the family to the school, when you have hundreds of such students in one school.
Religion is often solace for Palestinians mourning the dead. But under Israeli siege and 2 wars in 4 years, Palestinian families are opening up to alternative methods such as group therapy. Numerous efforts to combat psychological trauma in Gaza have expanded over the years, but the need to contain a population growing up traumatized is even more demanding now than ever. Mental health hospitals and centers in Gaza are understaffed and lack a number of resources to treat an influx of old and new patients. The Ministry of Health is working to build additional facilities this year, focusing on recovery, rehabilitation, and therapy training. Still, doctors describe an environment where Gaza has turned into a laboratory, where psychological warfare is used as a human experiment. They warn, without the support to provide immediate help, Gaza's growing mental health epidemic will further deteriorate. Jahan Hafiz for The Real News, Gaza.